Astronomers discover an exoplanet, a planet of star other than the Sun, that has an orbital period of 3.27 Earth years in its circular orbit around its Sun, which is a star with a measured mass of 3.61 times 10 to the 30 kilograms. Find the radius of the exoplanet's orbit. It's not clear, but I probably mean in meters, so we'll have to do that a little bit later. So this is basically going to be a Kepler's third law problem, and so I'm going to rederive Kepler's third law, although honestly at the end there'll be a result that you can probably just remember, and then would make it faster. But just for consistency, I'm going to do the whole thing. So here is our new little star, and there's a planet which is going around it with radius r. The planet has mass little m, the star has mass big M, let's call it m sub s for star. And of course the planet is moving with some velocity and takes some time t to go around once. And so we have that the net force has to provide the mass times the known acceleration. The net force is the gravitational force, so it's g times mass of the star times mass of the planet over r square. And the acceleration, of course, is triple acceleration, so it's going to be v squared over r. And that gets us, after we do a couple of little things like cancel that out, bring these guys up on one side, we end up with v square is g mass of the Sun over r. Of course, we also have that that v is 2 pi r over t. So v squared is 4 pi squared r over t squared, 4 pi r squared. So we have, going back over to the other thing, we have 4 pi squared r squared over t squared is g mass of the star over r. And now we can solve this for t, right? That's the thing we want. No, we want the radius, sorry. So solve this for r by cross multiplying by r and t squared and by r and t squared. That clears our fractions. We end up here with 4 pi squared r cubed is gms t squared. Or r cubed is g mass of the Sun over 4 pi squared, or mass of the star in the center, times t squared, which is Kepler's third law. I don't know if you really want to remember that or just rederive it this way, but that's a useful thing. Here the m is the m of the central object, so it's the mass of our star, and our way forward is really twofold, and I'm going to do it, I guess, two different ways. All right. One way is sort of by brute force just substitution. So take the cube root. So we have g m star over 4 pi squared t squared square rooted. Cube rooted. And then lots of ugliness. 6.67 times 10 to the minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square over there, times the mass of the Sun, or the star here, which was 3.61 times 10 to the 30 kilogram, times the period, which is the square of 3.27 years, but then I have to convert that to seconds at some point, which will be annoying. And I'm just going to look up the conversion factor. Google tells me is 3,155,7600 seconds per year, and of course squared. And then we need to go back, we need to then do our denominator, which is just 4 pi square, and we have to remember to take the cube root. which the TI tells us is 4.0196. Sure, well, 97, I guess, times 10 to the plus 11 meters. Our digits here seem to be 3. So this should really be 4.02 times 10 to the 11 to keep sapling happy with our sig figs. And that is what sapling in fact says. An alternate way to go, which is not as convenient as it normally would be because of the way they phrase things here, would be to do it as ratios. So we would take our existing equation and divide it by the same values for the solar system. So we would say, let's divide this thing by the equivalent in the solar system, which would be the radius of the Earth's orbit cubed is g times mass of the sun times the Earth's period squared over 4 pi squared, which can be simplified a little bit to being that r over the Earth's orbit radius all cubed is, the g's would cancel, the 4 pi's would cancel. We would have the mass of our star over the mass of the sun times the square of the period over the period of the Earth's orbit squared. And this we could say is 3.61 times 10 to the 30th kilograms over the mass of the sun, which Google tells me is 1.99 times 10 to the 30 kilograms. And then we'd have over here the ratio of the orbit to the Earth orbit, but the Earth's orbit has a period of 1 year, so that ratio is exactly 3.27 because that's what they gave us there. And if we put all of that number together, it becomes 19.40 is the ratio cubed. So the thing we want is the orbit of the Earth's radius times the cube root of 19.40. And again, we can get that from Google. This is 1.496 times 10 to the 11 meters times the cube root of 19.40. Cube root of 19.40, which turns out to be this value. 4.0197 times 10 to the 11 meters, which is, when we get to the right number of sig figs again, 4.02 times 10 to the 11 meters. So that's an alternate way to do it. This problem was a little weird, and they mixed giving us the ratio to the Earth's orbit, and then they gave us an absolute mass for the sun. And that made it that there was no clean way to get the actual answer. But ultimately, it just keeps coming down to Kepler's third law, using this somehow, and then being very careful with conversions because it's very easy to drop those.